Hi, my name is Thomas Südbrücker. I like to learn and I like to share what I've learned. And this is the reason why I have an own blog and I create videos, and you're currently watching a YouTube video. I also contributed to the tutorial on IBM Developer, set up an end-to-end use case for local agents with MCP server and watsonx Orchestrate. There are some changes with watsonx Orchestrate with the ADK with the version 2, and I show you what impacts that example. So I want to give you an idea what you have to do to change that the example is still running. Now, with the new watsonx Orchestrate Developer Edition in the context of the ADK, you are no longer needed to install Docker on your local machine. So everything comes with it and it is running out of the box. I have still running here a container engine, and I want to show you really from the emptiness. There were no images which are relevant for applications. That's all the plain Ranger. Here, what is used here at the moment in the context as a container engine, and that's all. With that in mind, I want to show you the difference, why at the moment it will no longer work with that configuration, yeah, and how we can change that. So I will go through several steps. I updated the documentation in the GitHub repository, where also the example here points to. And we will first take a look how it at the moment works, and what we need to do that it works again. You need to understand that we use the MCP server of an example application, which is described in the original video for the tutorial. And I only will focus on the MCP server part of the example application, where you can travel to that means you can go to the galaxy, you can travel and book a flight to a moon or Jupiter or somewhere else. So that is just a fake application, just to go to have some sample data around agent development. That makes fun. So with that, the Developer Edition, the Development Edition 1.x, it worked that we were able to add the container directly to the Docker Compose, where the watsonx Development Edition server lives. And we connected it, and then we can access directly with the functionality at access the service name. That makes life for just easier. And it worked in that context. Then now has changed. Now we have the situation that watsonx Orchestrate ADK in the Developer or Development Edition on the local machine in the 2.0 version, it comes with a virtual machine and also runs the container, but everything here inside. So we will not see any container here. So it's not needed. So, but our application still will runs on the local machine. First of all, we tried out if that configuration works, but you can see here, so I already showed that will not work. And then we will set up where we bring again back also into the virtual machine that container in that context, so that everything is running. That's all. And let's go through the different steps. First of all, we will execute the example with the local configuration. But before we do that, I will show you how to access the application itself. So at the moment, as I said, we have not here the container running. So we need to run this. So if you want to do that, because the compose that must be executed, here we just start with local, and you can say bash. So, and then you can see the container is going to build, yeah, and is running. So we have it running now. The container now runs. And we want also to verify the MCP server inside that container can be accessed, or we can try to reconnect, try to connect it again. So let's see, not the tools here. First of all, I need to run that. I forgot to execute that. That was here in the inspector for sure. Without running this, we cannot inspect something. So that is now is the inspector again running. So let us take a look here. Yeah, and then here we have it, and we try to connect, and everything is available. So we can list here the tools, and we will import later on that tool into watsonx Orchestrate. So everything is running here. So we have ensured that the MCP server is available. Yeah, we can see that everything is running. And now I will run a bash script which provides you the or provides us the ability
to start up.
just to see everything in the configuration logo. So in the example, as I have said here, so we will start the server and we try to connect everything with a setup. So how the setup runs out in the detail, you can also watch in the instructions or in the other video. The reason why I did all this automation, so that is also here. So we can say here bash 1, and then we just execute and do that configuration here. Now we start the watsonx Orchestrate server locally, and later on also the light chat functionality, and you can see everything here now. Now we can see here also with the download, and everything is running here in that server. That is also a fresh installation. I activate the local environment, and now we start also the light chat. So the light chat is available here, but I will, for consistency, here we have also the light chat available. So we can see manage the agents at the moment. The default agent, which is available inside watsonx Orchestrate when you install that on the machine, local machine. So everything is here running. Set up a connection. First of all, I tried to remove the connection because clearly that does not work, but then I create a connection that worked. Yeah, I configured it. So that is what you can see here in that. I'm going to set up a connection, and I want to connect later on to get the tool. But getting the tool didn't work because of some network problems. So with the local host, and it tried to get it, and when it runs here with the local host search, so that it does not address the right direction, so it cannot directly find the tools. So with that, we have the ability to change that when we move that to the compose. So what we do now, so you can see I have done that before. I will now stop the server, so orchestrate, and now we will create the 2 files new. We'll start to export the compose configuration, so that is what we're now going to do. So with that, so let's go, clear, see, and now we will do the next step. We will export the compose. And what we also can do for sure, we do not need that because we have created now the container. We can now stop the container here. As we can see here, the container is no longer running, but we have the image here. The image is available. So we have verified that it didn't work, and now we try it in that configuration. By the way, I start in that configuration also long views. It's not necessary, but I like that for the easy monitoring on a local machine. And yeah, with that, we're going forward. So now it is exported. Now we can take a look here what I did. I started it and I exported the information. Now we have here the server and the compose file again.
Computer startup.
And we can see here the version. I give a reminder, so that is not officially supported. So, and now we're going to insert inside the container here the relevant part was here. So here I have it here. So copy it. And now that is the part what we now need to add. It is directly in front of the volumes. We add that as an entry, and you can see that is the service. And now we have that as a service name. That later on will be the container which is running inside the virtual machine. So we will not see the container on our local machine here. There's nothing, there will nothing be available. And then we save that, and we will start now the server with the compose. So let us start that once again. We'll clear it. Now we will start it with the compose. So it starts the virtual machine again. And then we will see, that is still running. So it should be available, the new instance, what we have here, which is running inside the compose here. We should be available to reconnect when the startup is done. So let's see. It still takes the time. Activate the local environment. So we start that for sure again, because we later on we want to see that is working. And then we can see here, here is nothing running. It's exit, also there is nothing. And we will take a look here into the inspector, trying to reconnect. It works with the reconnect. Let's see with we can clear that. This, and as you have seen, the container is not running on our container engine. It is running now inside the watsonx Orchestrate. So, and now with that is running inside watsonx Orchestrate, it should also be possible to connect to the MCP server and get the tool. So, and now we do that. We say here, we say clear. And now it's the last step. It's the step 4 with the bash. 4. And now it is successfully imported, as you can see. First of all, I want here to delete something which does not exist, so because I want to remove the connection. I added to the connection. I do exactly the same steps as you have seen in the first part. And now, let us see what is available here. Let us see again. Oh, tool. It is available, and we can use the tool now in our agent here. We'll just add it now to our agent. Add the tool, which now on the local instance, because it's already imported. So do not need that in addition. So the tool is added, and we can say what are the available flights. And let's see what will be the reasoning. And you can see here it is invoked it, and it works. Yeah, that's all. And with that, you can see how it works. You need a little bit to understand how the network works. And as I said at the beginning, it is not official supported. You're doing all that stuff what I have showed you. Yeah. You can also maybe do that in a different kind of way, and that is the way what I have chosen for the connection for that with that container. And don't use it in the way as I said before, have that externally. I moved it here into the same compose to make the life easy. And what I have done in that context, just you can see it, that was here in the exported compose. Now it knows that system name, yeah, so that the service name, that is the service name. And I put that in the network. In that context, I've inspected the Docker Compose, which network were relevant for that. And yeah, the containers and the container images were relevant for watsonx Orchestrate come from that container registry, and the other one from the local. That can be a little bit challenging in some cases with the access. And for have a common resource for the containers, there is also a written documentation inside watsonx Orchestrate, but that is what is at the moment not covered in that video. Yeah, and I hope that was useful for you, especially in the case if you have tried out the example before. And if you see that the first time, yeah, then maybe you want to dig a little bit more in that, what is possible in that all that configuration, and see a little bit more. And then I say many thanks for watching. I hope it was useful for you. And if you have an idea or you are interested in something, yeah, you are free just to write a comment and say, hey, Thomas, do you can cover the topics, and I will see if I will cover the topic if it fits to my objectives at the moment. And I also created a short as an answer for someone who asked me a question before to answer that. And again, thanks for watching. I hope it was useful for you, and see you maybe later in another video.